You can use the distributive property to multiply a monomial by a polynomial. So you're used to the distributive property learned before, a times b plus c. You can distribute the a over, multiply the a times b, the b times this a times the c, so that's equal to a b plus a c. So they're using the same thing. So instead of just having a, they have 2x. So this 2x is multiplied by 3x to give you 2x times 3x. And the 2x is multiplied times 1 to give you 2x times 1. Well, 2x times 3x, 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x is x squared. And 2x times 1 is just 2x. So they give you this multiple choice problem where we have negative x cubed times 9x to the fourth times negative 2x cubed plus 7. So using the same distributive property, you do x cubed times 9x to the fourth, and that equals, got negative x cubed, so got negative, it starts off with a negative because the negative times a positive. There's no other coefficient in front of this x cubed, it's just this 9, so we just have a 9. And x cubed times x to the fourth, you add your exponents, 3 plus 4 is 7. And then we do times the next term. This time we have a negative times a negative. That gives us a positive. And no coefficient except for this 2. And x cubed times x cubed. 3 plus 3 is 6. So we have 2x to the 6th. And then we do the last term, negative x cubed times 7. We have a negative times a positive. That gives us a negative. Only coefficient, our only constant is a 7. And then there's no x here with the 7, so we just use our x to bring over our x cubed. So, negative 9x 7th plus 2x to the 6th minus 7x cubed. And so then the answer is D. Okay, and when they work it out, they get the answer is D. A couple of things to look at where A is wrong because it did 3 times 4 gets 12, but when you multiply exponents of the same base, you just add the exponent, so it should be 3 plus 4 to get 7. Here, B, they didn't get the negative in front, and you can see what's wrong with the others. So the answer is D. Okay, so how do we factor a polynomial? If we already know if we have this 2x times parenthesis 3 plus 1, we can get to this over here, 6x squared plus 2x. But how do we go from here to here? What you do, you look at all your terms, and terms of an expression is anything that's separated by a plus or minus, and you look for common factors. If you remember from elementary school, you have greatest common factors. You can factor things out. For example, 6 can be factored as 2 times 3. Just like, and 2 of course can be factored as 2 times 1. So there is a 2 in both of these. Okay, and we have an x squared and an x. Now x squared is just x times x, and of course x is just x. So we have a 2 and an x that's common to both. So factoring it, we can say, let's start off with 2x, open parenthesis, and 6x squared divided by 2x gives you, cancel out the 2 and the 6 up top, you have a 3. You cancel out the x and an x, you got it just as 3x. And you have 2x divided by 2x. That cancels and that cancels, and so you just have a 1. So we have 3x plus 1. So here they're asking what's the greatest common factor of the terms 5x cubed plus 25x squared plus 45x. Well, so we know on our divisibility rules. Well, of course, we have a 5 divisibility rule. 5, of course, is divisible by itself. Anything ending in a 5 or a 0 is divisible by 5. So 25 is divisible by 5, and 45 is divisible by 5. So we know that part of our greatest common factor here is going to be 5. Okay. And then we look at our variables. We have an x cubed, an x squared, and an x. So the biggest, the highest order x we have in here is just an x, because x squared is big. I'm sorry, I said the highest order. The smallest order is an x. So you can't get an x squared out of an x. It's only one x. So all we have is going to be 5x. Okay, and they worked it out. The greatest common factor is 5x. Now, if you were going to go ahead and factor this out, you would divide everything by 5x. 25x by 5x, and 45x by 5x. And that's equal 5x cubed divided by 5x. We get rid of 5 and the 5, they cancel out. And that x will get rid of one of the x's in the x cubed, which will leave you x squared. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And that x, get rid of the x squared, will just become an x. We got a 5x. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. So our answer would be 5x, open parenthesis, x squared plus 5x plus 9.